Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to a roundup of some of the latest news from the world of Formula 1. Kicking us off then, and Max Verstappen has said that he believes Red Bull will avoid suffering the same fate McLaren faced when they switched to Honda back in 2015. As I'm sure everyone is fully aware by now, Red Bull will end their long-term partnership with Renault at the end of 2018 in favour of switching to Honda power for 2019. The announcement did initially divide many at the time, but with Honda's apparent improvement throughout this season, there appears to be a lot more optimism about Red Bull's decision. And Verstappen was asked how the team can avoid heading down the same route as McLaren, to which the Dutchman stated, "By telling Honda that they need to develop the best and fastest engine, but not as small and compact as possible. We indicate that we want as much power as possible, and in return, we will make it fit in the car. That is a very different approach than they had at McLaren." Verstappen is also confident that being a works team with Honda alongside of course sister team Toro Rosso will ultimately benefit the team as a whole going forward and into the future. He added, "In the current situation, you are always the second team after the factory team. This, of course, is not the case with Honda. We are actually the only customer since both are Red Bull teams. I think that this is an advantage. If there is an engine update, you receive it immediately and not a race later." So then, let's use this story as inspiration for this week's questions. And how do you think Red Bull will perform next season with Honda power? Do you think they will surprise? Do you think they will struggle? And ultimately, where do you think they will finish in the Constructors' Championship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Claire Williams has confirmed that Esteban Ocon is on the team's shortlist to partner new arrival George Russell in 2019. Now, late last week, Williams announced that the 20-year-old Brit would be joining the Grove outfit, and it is expected that he will be replacing Lance Stroll, who is likely to be heading to Force India next season. Although all the names on the list are not known, it is widely reported that the drivers Williams are considering include current driver Sergei Sirotkin and reserve driver Robert Kubica. But team boss Claire Williams has admitted that Esteban Ocon is also being considered. She told Sky Sports, "We are still doing a lot of evaluation work. It's a short list. We are very happy with the drivers we are evaluating, and it will not take us a long time to make that final decision. Of course Esteban is in the mix. We would be crazy not to be looking at him." It is expected that Sergio Perez will partner Lance Stroll at Force India next season, although nothing has been confirmed at time of recording. And with just one seat open at Williams and one at Toro Rosso, options are extremely limited for Ocon for 2019, with Toto Wolff, Otmar Safnauer and Esteban Ocon himself all appearing to hint at a sabbatical from F1 next year for the Frenchman. After much speculation, it has been confirmed that Stoffel Vandoorne will be racing in Formula E with HWA for the upcoming season. The Belgian has found himself without an F1 seat after McLaren made the decision to partner Carlos Sainz with young driver Lando Norris in 2019. And his lingering hopes of an F1 drive next year took a big hit when Helmut Marko stated that Stoffel simply wasn't fast enough to race in F1, thus writing him off as an option for Toro Rosso. But on Monday, HWA confirmed that they would be taking the Belgian alongside DTM champion Gary Paffett. And speaking about joining the team, Vandoorne stated, "I am honoured that HWA have signed me for their Formula E programme. HWA are such a great team with a long and successful history in motorsport. All the people I've met so far are really passionate about racing. Also, it's great to work alongside such an experienced driver as Gary Paffett. I am pretty sure that we will benefit from each other during the season. Although we are all newbies to the series, I have no doubt that we will have a steep learning curve. However, it won't be easy. My objective is therefore to become competitive in the series as soon as possible and to make a good impression." And joining Vandoorne in Formula E next season will be Pascal Wehrlein after it was announced earlier today that the German would be teaming up with Jerome D'Ambrosio at Mahindra Racing. Wehrlein was yet another driver heavily linked with a move to Toro Rosso for 2019, and it was believed that he was keeping his options open in case a team came calling. However, that avenue appears to have closed and a return to F1 is off the cards, for next season at least. And speaking about his switch to Formula E, Wehrlein said, "I'm very happy to be joining Mahindra Racing. I had the first meeting in the summer and met the team for the first time at a test event. It's a small team but with really high ambitions, and I have the same high ambitions. I want to achieve the best possible results, and I have a feeling the team is the right environment for me. I'm looking forward to the season and I will give my best." The new Formula E season kicks off in December with the teams and drivers heading to Saudi Arabia, where the new Gen 2 cars will be making their much anticipated debut. Renault boss Cyril Abiteboul believes that the escalating cost of developing engines leaves the sport at risk of losing one of its current manufacturers. The Frenchman has pointed at the progress and investment made by Honda as an example of how the sport's engine spending is accelerating, and also has concerns that, with the changes due for 2021, those costs are going to become untenable for some. In an interview with Autosport, he stated, "It is not a surprise because it was very clear last year already that Honda were making very rapid progress. Reliability was not there last year, but it was extremely clear, and I remember in Spa, there was a very clear signal that Honda was on the move, given a huge investment which we understand that Honda is putting in. It is not a surprise that this is paying off, because we are still in an F1 that is rewarding how much you are spending, rather than how you are spending it, and that is a concern. That rising cost is, in my opinion, untenable. It may be paying dividends for Honda now, but at some point it will be untenable for one of the four. F1 cannot afford to lose one of them, and I don't see enough action being taken to alleviate that necessity to spend in a way that might be untenable. They are definitely back. They are at a similar level to us in terms of competitiveness this year because of our decision on Spec C. That is why, again, we cannot sleep on next year's engine development. F1 is pushing for a cost cap to be implemented into the sport, but at the same time, they are also looking to introduce louder and higher revving engines for 2021, so the costs are set to increase further over the coming couple of seasons. And finally, Toto Wolff has said that Lewis Hamilton is a class act as he sits on the brink of sealing a 5th World Championship title. Hamilton sits 67 points clear of rival Sebastian Vettel in the Drivers' Championship and can seal the title at this weekend's US Grand Prix. And the Mercedes boss was full of praise for Hamilton and his performances this season, stating, "While we didn't have the fastest car in the summer, we've seen the performance swing in our favour recently. However, it is closer than it looked in recent races. Ferrari have a strong car and they will keep on pushing until the very last corner in Abu Dhabi. They have been worthy opponents in the past 17 races, and we have no reason to believe that this will change in the next 4. Just like us, they will fight fiercely for every point and position." 2 1-2s in a row also show how well both drivers are performing. With 6 race victories in the last 7 races, Lewis has shown what a class act he is. Both on and off the track, he is more complete than ever before, showing commanding performance in the car and challenging the entire team to perform to higher levels at the same time. So then, if he wants to get his 5th world title all wrapped up this weekend in Austin, Lewis Hamilton needs to outscore Sebastian Vettel by a total of 8 points. That is it for this week's news roundup then, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts on Red Bull Honda's chances for 2019, and indeed any of the news stories featured in this video. Now, unfortunately, due to prior commitments, there will be no live stream tomorrow, so I will be back on Thursday at 4 PM UK time with the US Grand Prix weekend warm-up. And of course, don't forget to join me over the course of the weekend for plenty more content as well, a schedule for which will be posted on social media soon. In the meantime, you can follow me on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.